Welcome to Heaven My Cake. I'm Lenora, and today I'm going to show you how I made this super cute flower crown cake for my daughter's birthday. And before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more cake content. So one of the first things I did was make a batch of my vanilla buttercream. I have a complete tutorial on how to make that. It'll be linked in the description. But yeah, this is my go-to buttercream that I use for most of my cakes. It's quick, easy, it's truly fail-proof. Then once I baked my cake and leveled it, I went ahead and piped a dammer on my cake. This is what's going to hold that chocolate ganache in there. You can tell that it's a little runny. I did have to take it out and redo it. And what I did was I just put my ganache in the fridge just to harden up a little bit more, to firm up. And because you can see it's so runny, if I would have tried to ice that and everything, it just would have been a big mess. All right, I go ahead and add my top layer of my cake on there, and then I start the crumb coating process. Now this process may seem like an extra step, but I promise adding that thin layer of frosting to your cake to lock in the crumbs really makes a difference to me. I like seeing my crumb coat come together and knowing that my cake is good to go before I start adding, more icing to it, like the second layer of icing or decorations or anything like that. This is basically my blank canvas, the crumb coat. So I always suggest to do that. All right, so the next thing that I did was I filled a piping bag and I colored my frosting brown just a little bit because I wanted to kind of have like a stick wooden look around the cake, because this is going to be a flower crown cake. But the thing is that you don't really see it, this part. So if you don't have to put this there, but on your cake, but I did. And it also, since your cake is firm, well, I should say before was that during the crumb coat process, once you finish the crumb coat, you do want to put your cake in the fridge to firm up for about 20 minutes. And once it's firm, then you can go ahead and start decorating it and all of that, because it's easier to work with a firm cake. If the frosting is warm, it's going to be a lot harder to decorate. So always work with a chilled cake. During this time, I mixed my other colors that I'm going to put on the cake, like my blue, green, red, whatever, and I put them in piping bags. So you have to kind of decide how many different colors you want to use, how many different piping tips you want to use, what's going to be your main color, and then you want to use like maybe the bigger piping tip to do the bigger details on the cake, and then use the smaller piping tip to do smaller details on the cake. So like I said earlier, I piped a little that brown ring around the cake to kind of give like that wooden look to the cake, but you don't really see it once I'm done. But I did like it because it gave me like a better guide for when I'm piping the little rosettes on the cake. That's what I'm doing here. And here I'm using a piping tip 1M, which is a really super popular piping tip you may have seen. And then this next one here, I'm using 8B, and just doing little swirl, like little rosettes. It doesn't even have to be perfect, because once you fill in all of the flowers, buttercream flowers and everything, it ends up really coming together really nicely. Now you do want your buttercream to be firm with this. Now when you're icing a cake, it's okay if your cake is okay if your buttercream is a little softer, and but when you're piping, you want your design to come out a little firm, so that way it holds its shape and it doesn't look droopy or it looks like it's melting. So, from the time I'm coloring my buttercream to the time I'm putting it in the piping bag to the time I actually get to piping, my buttercream may soften a little bit. So what I do is I stick it in the fridge for a couple minutes, just to firm a little bit, just enough to hold its shape. And because if not, it won't have those details, those piping details, and that's what you want. So the firmer your buttercream, not too firm, because you want to be able to pipe it, the firmer it is and the better that it will pipe. Just put it that way, I guess. So yeah, just play around with it and you'll find that consistency that works for you, but putting it in the fridge really helps, but just keep an eye on it. So you see, I'm just going through with all my colors. I used a leaf piping tip to do the green leaves on there. Here's a little close-up so you can see. So the next thing I needed to do was choose the topper for the cake. So this was more of a garden theme type of party, so I figured the butterfly, happy birthday was the perfect choice. So I wanted to show you a little bit of the decorations that I had for the party. So like I said, garden party theme, and I decorated my back deck with some fake flowers and vases and candles and some streamers and things, which I'll link for you. Then we sang happy birthday to our baby girl. She turned 12 years old. And one of the little kids recorded this moment for us, our a little baby cousin. Shout out to her. Thank you. All right, now it's time to cut the cake. So I go ahead and get my little plates ready and got these plates as well from Amazon. Little like tea plates almost. Perfect for garden party if you're looking to have that kind of party for yourself or for your child. So I went ahead and cut my cake. I have my knife there and a cutting board, and I cut it horizontal that way. I feel like it gives the most slices, and I think the slices are just so pretty and just a different way to cut your cake. And so I just cut it in threes there and kind of just go through the cake and just make little slices. You can cut it however you want to cut it. It does not have to be perfect. My slices are never, ever, ever perfect, so I think that's the fun in it as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments or anything. Tell me how you like the cake. What colors would you use? You know, is this an idea that you would use for your family, friends? Let me know. And for more cake decorating tips, you can visit heavenmycake.com. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook. I'm Heaven My Cake on all social media platforms. And you can check out the blog post. That'll be linked as well. And yeah, if you're looking for a buttercream tutorial, I'll have that listed as well. Like I said, I use American buttercream for this. It's my go-to buttercream, and I show you step by step. It's actually from a live class that I did. So yeah, you get to see me live making this, and you get everything that you need. Instructions, recipe, and all of that as well. Oh, and troubleshooting tips too, because we know buttercream can be tricky. But with my help, I hope to take all that away. All right. Thank you so much for watching. And like always, take care.